Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the White Collar Goon, and I am the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics. Angels in Politics. We are aware that that is that's the philosophy. Sorry, you all are making me nervous. That's the philosophy and the philanthropy. And of course, if you just have listened to my previous work or read some of my work, it's an all encompassing lifestyle, regardless of whether you know it or not. You're in the Angels and Politics hemisphere, you're a political person. Anytime you speak and interface with a human being, you're being political. Anytime that you engage with another human being, there's politics involved. And whenever you are dealing with the elements, when you're dealing with the non-physical, when you're dealing with you know the thoughts, your inner, demons, or I guess the opposite of the inner demons, the inner angels, the great things that happen: happiness, euphoria, joy, melancholy, despair, disappointment, encouragement, all of these things, that's spiritual, that's angels, those are the angels. So I think you should definitely dedicate yourself to the spiritual market and the angel market, as well as the political market. The political market is, of course, everything of this world: commodities, stocks, bonds, real estate, precious metals, non-precious metals, hard, softs, forex market, which is the foreign exchange market, oil, petrol, renewable energy, alternative resources for energy, resources in general. That is the political market. And if you're not if you haven't spread yourself, if you haven't hedged your bets, if you haven't hedged your investments, if you aren't studying, multi-level holding companies like the JP Morgans and the Goldman Sachs and the Blackstone Capitals, the BlackRock Capitals, or the Apollo Global Groups, or the management groups, or the Bridgewater Associates, or these types of entities that control Exxon Mobil, Mobile, these types of companies, Capital One, BB&T, HSBC, these entities, control trillions in assets. All right, and it's not in one place. It's the money is everywhere. The money is where is the money is what you eat. The money is where you sleep. The money is in the air. The money is underground. The money is in the sky. The money is literally in space. The money is everywhere. Please get in contact with it. Please synchronize with this. Please reach out and touch it, because it's literally, I call it the art. The acronym is art. Antiquities, the rarities, the treasure, Oh my gosh, the fortune is here. It is here. It is here. That's alignment. That's alignment. Your mind, body, and soul. So please, once you understand that you are aligned, and once you understand your true purpose, once you understand that your spiritual gifts, you have gifts. Your gifts can be transmutated into powers. Your powers turn into superpowers once they are cultivated, once you have worked on them, once you have emphasized on them, once you have doubled down, tripled down, go taken massive action times 10. Have you read the books by Grant Cardone? Have you read what Gary Vee has been telling you with the Thank You Economy? Have you read The Richest Man in Babylon? That should be your manual. Have you read Napoleon Hill? You should read that every year, and you should go through it with the fine-tooth comb. Have you read what Eric Ries has said? Have you read what Peter Thiel has said? Have you read what Elon Musk has said? Have you read what Dan Gote has spoken? Have you listened to what Dan Gote has spoken already? Are you looking at what George Soros is talking about with the open society and capitalism? Okay, so I was speaking about your spiritual gifts. Your spiritual gifts are your superpowers. But somebody says, I don't really have superpowers because I only thought Superman had that. I only thought Batman had that. I only thought Harley Quinn or Catwoman or what's her name, Wonder Woman, and all these types of well-to-do, wealthy Anglo-Saxon white women, or aka Israeli women who pass for white women. I thought they were the only people that had powers, that you can put them on Hollywood TV and movie theaters on the silver screen. I thought they were the only people that had powers. I thought it was only Bruce Wayne. I thought it was only Tony Stark. I thought it was only Robert Downey Jr. People who were I thought these were the only people that could manifest their powers. Not me. Of course it's you. You're political. You're the angel. You are the news. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. You are the conductor of the universe. You are the conductor of your own universe. You must manifest this. You must manifest your dreams. You must manifest your life. Things don't happen to you. You are not a victim. I cannot promote that. I will not be a proponent of that. I will not be an enabler of that. Things happen because of you. You are the conduit. You are the stimulus. You are the stimuli. Okay, so I'm gonna read you something because here, this is what you want to become. Not this figure, but you want to become the hero, the superhero. I put this on top of my head. I want you to see him because this is the self-actualization. This is how you become self-actualized. You are the archetypal hero, but in order for you to be the archetypal hero, you must figure out what your spiritual gifts are, where your spiritual powers are, and you must manifest that through 5 areas of expression, through your physical body, Do you see this? Do you see this fellow? Do you see the torso? Do you see the chest? Do you see the arms? Do you see the legs? That's his physical body. But what about the spiritual body? Has that been cultivated? Has that been enhanced? Has that been developed? Are you working on that? What about this? What about the mental body? What about the psychological body? What about the ethos? Okay? The cognitive discipline, the cognitive spectrum, the cognitive flexibility. Are you flexible? That goes into the physical body as well. Are you stretching? Is your body open? Have you expanded your vessel? Not only in the spiritual way, not only in the mental way, not only in the psychological way, but what about the emotional? Do you hear me? Are you working on the emotional body, the social body, the intuitive body? Okay, so this is what you want to become. You want to become the superhero. You want to manifest that. Figure out your powers. Superhero in training. I want to give you a word. And this isn't my word. This is the word from the Holy Spirit. This is the word from Jesus Christ. This is the word from the Christian text. And I'm reading from the New International Version. And when I say I have the text, or I'm reading the text, it doesn't need to just be this. This is a universal message. This is for the universe. So somebody might say, hey, I'm not Christian, but I'm Muslim. Why aren't you reading the Quran? The Quran is the same text. Of course, there's some variations, but it's written from the same hand. Read the Quran. Somebody might say, yo, I'm not even Christian. I'm not even Jewish. I'm not even Islam. I'm not even Muslim, but I'm Jewish. Go into the Torah then. Somebody might say, I'm Hindi. Somebody might say, I'm practicing Hinduism. Somebody might say, I'm Buddhist. There's text. There's plenty of text for you to read. Plenty of text for you to read. You might be able to read all 3 of these texts and take what you need and triangulate that and come together and synthesize that. So boom. This is coming from Proverbs 6, chapter 6, verse 5. In the reading or the substance or the head title of this theme, it says warnings against folly. Warnings against folly. Verse 5 says, free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Free yourself. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Lord Jesus. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander. How can you see the ant? How can you manifest that? How can you go to the ant? You must get low. You must humble yourself. That's what it says here. Go and humble yourself in verse 3. Go and humble yourself. Press and plead with your neighbor. Verse 4 says, allow no sleep to your eyes. Stop this. Where's my coffee? Go and humble yourself. Press and plead with your neighbor. Allow no sleep to your eyes. No slumber to your eyelids. My gosh. And in verse 7, in verse 6, it says, go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler. Nobody's ruling over the ants. Nobody's overseeing them because they think they are so small. They are invisible. They are minuscule. They are not even thought about. They are invisible. They are nothing. Does that sound like somebody? Does that sound like a group of people? Does that sound like a group of people on the global sense, on the global scale? On the universal scale, do you feel like you are forgotten? Do you feel like you are below people? Okay? It has no commander, it has no overseer, it has no ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer, and it gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? My God. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? Yo. Oh my gosh. When will you get up from your sleep? A little sleep. Verse 10 says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding. My gosh. A little folding of the hands to rest. And poverty will come on you like a bandit, and scarcity like an armed man. Armed like we got something for you, brother. We got something for you, sister. Poverty, poorness, destitute. You will be destitute. Destitution. Poverty, stricken, will come upon you like a bandit. A bandit is something that will thief. That's a thief that will rob you. That will take something from you. My gosh, I have to put this to the side. Whenever I'm so turned up, when you see me so passionate, when you see me like this, that's because I'm not just speaking for me. I'm not just speaking for me. When I get on my knees and I humble myself and I put my forehead, and this is where my ego is. This is where my pride is. This is where your personality is. People say, yo, like, how can I figure out who you are? Just look right here. Look at them in their eyes. Make eye contact, because the eyes are the windows to the soul, of course. But look here, because that's where the ego is. And people will show you who they are. People will show their face. Trust me on that one. They might be able to have this persona for a little bit. They might have this persona. We used to call it facades. They will have that mask, facade, persona at the workplace, at the church place, at the restaurant, at the whatever. But before you know it, hey, that motherfucker will show his face. Trust me on that. Believe me on that. The reason why I'm turned up and the reason why I come to you with this is because I have to be accountable. When I put my face to the floor, I ask the Lord to use me as a vessel. I ask the Lord to use me as an instrument. I ask the Lord to allow me to decrease as you increase, right? Well, somebody says, is the Lord telling you to be so turned up? Is the Lord telling you to use those words? Is the Lord telling you to walk around with pink underwear and hold up these whatever action figures? Don't worry about how I'm being used. See, that's your issue. Criticism precedes admiration. Criticism precedes admiration. You can't have levels or any level of success without critique or criticism. But when I read this text to you, if it triggers something, that's because it's talking to you. Are you humbling yourself? Are you really putting in the work? Are you resting? Are you folding your hands? Are you sitting there and say, yo, I'm going to be straight. I'm cool. Like, I don't need to develop my mental acuity. I don't need to develop my cognitive spectrum. I don't need to go out there and get out of my comfort zone. I don't need to read any books. I don't like reading. I don't need to eat healthy. I don't really like the taste of vegetables. I don't need to drink water. I don't really like the taste because it really doesn't have a taste. I just prefer soda. I just prefer pizza. Like, that is you. I didn't call you a sluggard. What did I say? Figure out where your spiritual gifts are. Become self-actualized. Understand that you have powers, homegirl. Understand you have powers, homeboy. Understand that it's already there for you. The fortune is there for you. The billions are there for you. The millions are there for you. Everything that you wanted, you can manifest it, but you're sleeping right now. You're resting right now. The summertime, you want to have the six-pack. The summertime, you want to have the beach body, but you're not working in the winter. It's 30 degrees outside. Are you up? It's 28 degrees outside. Are you skipping rope? Are you jumping rope? Are you doing your push-ups? You don't need to, right? Because you're too cool, right? You already got it figured out, right? You already know how it goes down, right? Homegirl, you don't need to go to Pilates. You don't need to go to the yoga class. You don't need to go to the high intensity interval training class. You don't need to go to the spin class. You don't need to go running because your body's already tight. Until you walk around and you go to Miami and you say, oh shit, let me go back to where the fuck I came from because I can't even step out with these girls. Until you go to Los Angeles, you say, oh shit, Let me not even step out of my hotel, because in New York, man, people were looking at me up and down, and I was still getting respect in New York. When I was in Virginia, when I was on the East Coast, because, the standards are a bit different in the East Coast, man, shit, I was the girl out there. I was tough shit out there. People were pulling up on me in Alabama. People were pulling up on me in Mississippi and Arkansas. I'm top bitch out there, and I won't use that word. I'm saying I'm top female out there. I'm top girl out there, until I went and took my ass to Colombia and see how those girls look in Medellin. Until I went down to Mexico City and Monterrey and I saw how those Mexican women were looking. Till I went to Belize. Till I went to Honduras. Until I saw those girls in Seoul. Till I saw those girls in Busan. Till I saw those women in Tokyo. Till I saw those women in Eritrea. Till I saw those women in Morocco. Till I went to San Diego and I said, oh shit, let me not step out of my motherfucking apartment. Do you hear me? You sluggard, you were sleeping when they were working. You were sleeping when I was meditating. You were sleeping when that business owner was up at 4:30 in the morning, 4:45, and he was doing his workout. You were sleeping when they were manifesting their dreams. You were sleeping when they were creating that business, when they were creating their network affiliate marketing, when they were creating their fulfillment by Amazon website, when they were creating their e-commerce website, when they were trading binary options, when they were trading forex, when they were when they were investing in the stock market radically so. When they were looking up the CBD companies and the THC companies because they were trying to beat the fucking market and be ahead of the curve. You were sleeping. You were too busy watching World Star. You were too busy watching The Power. You were too busy on Netflix. You were too busy hanging out with your lame ass homegirls and lame ass homeboys because they made you feel good. Because when you start hearing this conversation, you might say, damn, they might be talking about me. The Bible said, sluggard, you are sleeping, and you didn't humble yourself, and you didn't look at the ants. Become self-actualized.